Well, hello, my soul friends. This is the eve of the full moon happening on December 18th or 19th, depending on where you are. I just need to take a moment. I had intended to record my take on the full moon in Gemini a couple days ago, and there was one little challenge after another. And yesterday, I think I was just feeling the impact of the full moon. And then I just dropped in and was asking, what does this mean? And I got a sense that this full moon is not just the culmination of the new moon in December to this full moon, but rather a sort of emotional review of the entire year. So, anyone else out there feeling exhausted? Maybe some grief coming up? Maybe just, feeling like you're done. So I'll get into the specifics of the full moon moon in Gemini with the Sagittarius sun. That's what a full moon is, opposition. But honestly, when I just went offline in terms of not looking at what would that mean, what does this full moon entail? And there's a lot of aspects, which I'll get into. There's a lot to cover, but let me just say this. Yesterday, when I just didn't go to the facts or what does it mean when the moon is full in Gemini, and what does it mean when we have Venus conjunct Pluto, which we have, and when Chiron has been retrograding for a few months, goes direct on the 19th. That we have a lot of things happening. We have, oh gosh, what else is happening? Oh, the Saturn and Uranus final direct aspect happening on the 24th of this month. So there's a lot of ramped up energy. So, but my image that came to me when I was asking, what does this feel like? What does this mean? Literally, I was so unplugged yesterday, maybe the last 2 days, just exhausted and super vivid dreams. Anybody else out there having vivid dreams right about now? Well, I think the exhaustion was really me feeling into what we have just moved through in 2021, grown through, I like to say, and we have been struggling, doing a lot of hard work, a lot of inner shifting, a lot of external shifting, the world changing. This is all purposeful. It's all right on time if you follow the celestial weather. It can feel daunting. And, I was remembering when the pandemic first happened in 2020, I was seeing a lot of posts. I think it was a quote from, I want to say Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Frodo is from Lord of the Rings. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And the quote was something like, why did this happen? Why did this have to happen during our time? Something like that. Well, it is happening during our time, and perhaps on some level, at a soul level, we were all prepared to handle this and be present to what we were called to do during this time. But come on, in our human experience, it's been something, hasn't it? I mean, really. So really, one of the images I had many times through the year, it really felt on full blast yesterday and today. I tend to feel the full moon a couple days before. Just go through the energy before you all, so maybe I can give you some grace and give you some pointers. I don't know. I mean, everyone feels it differently. That's the truth. Every aspect I talk about is a possibility, not actuality. And depending on where it happens in your chart, your specific chart, which is the time you were born. So this is a full moon in Gemini. For me, it's in my 5th house. Depends on where Gemini is in your natal chart. If you want to look at that, give me send me an email, direct message me, contact me. Okay, but overall during this last year, and I feel emotionally this is the culmination, feeling all that we have moved through in 2021. So one of the metaphors I got a lot was really connected to Saturn and Uranus square, which was foot on the gas pedal, foot on the brake, over and over again. Oh, we've got some forward movement. Nope, not yet. So that push, pull, back, forth, I mean, that's exhausting in itself when you're really wanting to shift gears and change your life and get out of the rut and and finalize the transformational point that you're in. Well, the Saturn and Uranus that's been going on through 2021, that is exact again on the 24th. We're going to have one more huge push in this direction. Now, again, individually, collectively. So we can see what's going on collectively. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of looking at the old ways that aren't working, trying to find the new way, but we can't quite find the innovative new way yet. And there's a lot of disagreement about that. We're going to have another push with that. Now, here's the thing with Moon in Gemini and a Sagittarius Sun. Gemini, so this is the polarity, Gemini and Sagittarius, right? Gemini is kind of like the smaller picture or more connected to our individuality, our curiosity, our own thought process. You know, and then Sagittarius is the bigger picture, the higher possibility, the higher vision. And so I think of it as personal and collective, right? So it's perfect full moon to have the last month of the year. So this is a time, I mean, we already have, I hope, been questioning, why do we believe? Why do we believe what we believe? And how do what we individually believe, how does that contribute to the collective? Now, Sagittarius, when the sun is in Sagittarius, and we also have Mars in Sagittarius right now, which is, can get really, even though they're mutable signs, they can get really fixed in what they believe. Sagittarius energy is like, nope, I'm right. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. And if we're in that position of I'm right, you're wrong, how do we heal? We need to start looking at the bigger picture of what might be true about what you believe and what might be true about what I believe. And then we can find, we can vision for something that's higher, a collective possibility that serves the highest and greatest. Now, I finally have learned, and maybe you have too this year, I'm going to do another video, I think the last week, just before the new year, of what did you learn? I've posted a few things about this, but this year more than ever is a time to do a sacred harvest. What did you learn? What were the gifts that came out of the struggle? What gifts came out of your woundedness? What will you do differently now, right? I like to say lessons learned is wisdom earned. So hopefully we all accumulated a lot of wisdom. I really feel next year is the year of integrating all we've learned, all we've grown through. So a lot of working with our beliefs. And so the other imagery that came to me often when I was working with clients and they're describing to me what they're experiencing, over and over, I would feel this, I'd see it, and I'd say, yeah, this is kind of like the celestial weather, and we're feeling it individually. And that is like being caught in a riptide. So for those of you who know about riptides, what happens? We go out for a nice swim, it's beautiful water, nice day, and we're just going to go for a quick swim, and then get right back to shore, get back to, our lunch on the beach. But I mean, this is not something to laugh at. It's a very serious thing. If you literally are caught in a riptide, and you should know this, if you're swimming in the ocean, you try to swim to shore and you get pulled further out into the ocean. Okay. And the way to manage a riptide is to swim with the current wherever it's going, to not try to swim against it. Otherwise, you'll get exhausted and you won't make it back. So I really feel metaphorically, that's what we've experienced this year, don't you? We've been like thinking, envisioning for what we want for our lives and what we hoped would happen in 2021. And we're trying to swim in that direction, but we keep getting pulled away from that vision or pulled away from what we desire. And this is where surrender, not giving up, but surrendering, different energy, has been pivotal. I think that's how you say it. I should tell you, I haven't had a full moon, night before full moon day, one challenge after another, one spiritual test after another. How long was I going to stay centered? How long was I going to stay in trust? And how many times did I have to surrender? Today was a doozy day. Anyway, all is well right now, but whew. So that riptide, energetic riptide of 2021, pulling us away from all we desire, and that we had to just surrender. Because if we kept resisting and we kept trying to go in the direction that we want, even though it's not available right now or wasn't available, that is part of what caused exhaustion, right? That is part of what probably caused great grief. Why aren't things working out for me? Why are things so hard, right? And great grief, grief, as I say often, grief is that adjusting to life as you want it to be or how it was, that it no longer is, and you're not yet to the new normal. So we've had collective grief, we've had exhaustion, we've had compassion fatigue. I was talking to my mentor from our spiritual direction program, or messaging with him yesterday, and I was like, wow, this feels like burnout. This feels like, later I identified it as compassion fatigue. So compassion fatigue, for those of you out there like me who are very empathetic, and I don't watch the news anymore, but I certainly look at various news sources that are neutral and not a specific position generated. I try to find those vetted news programs that have just the facts, ma'am, right? No spin, no agenda, no partisan politics. And so I can't watch it because it's just too overstimulating for me. So I'll go online and look here and look there. But even that, just hearing what's going on, but more than that, I don't even have to look at the news. I feel the news. So compassion fatigue is where your open heart, your love, your compassion for others, for the world, is overtaxed. Like your well is dry. So these are the themes I have felt this year, and I'm curious if you relate to these metaphors. Okay, I'm ready to go. You put your foot on the gas, and then suddenly you hit the brakes again, or life hits the brakes for you. Can't move forward, feel kind of stuck, and also trying to swim to this new shore of what you're visioning for and hoping for. And you keep getting pulled further away from what you want, and you're exhausted. So I really would love to hear some feedback on that. Or maybe you have your own imagery that's come. In fact, you can, anytime, I love this tool with imagery, and that is anytime you want to get some information from your soul. And I've taught this for years, and I'm sure on many of my videos, but let's do it for a moment right now together. Maybe I'll get something new. Just place your hand over your heart and breathe in. And feel into your body, and feel whatever is stirring in there. Notice the feelings, the energy, the quality. I had noticed exhaustion earlier, some disappointment, and then I always feel joy. It's mixed in there. But notice what you feel. And now invite your heart, your soul, to create an image, show you something. Allow an image to form that represents what you've been holding emotionally this year, that's coming to culmination. Full moon energy brings everything to light, illuminates those places that we need to look at still. And just allow an image to form. Where are you with your transformational journey of 2021? What has it been like for you? And you could also do another check-in, which is, how will this resolve? And show me, soul, what the vision beyond this struggle is for me. So, okay, so that's kind of my feeling of the full moon. I wanted just to touch base on some of the other things that are going on. So again, the full moon is occurring on the 18th or 19th, depending on where you are. So here's the other doozy. Venus is going retrograde on the 19th, the day after the full moon. And Venus is conjunct Pluto. Okay, Anybody reviewing relationship stuff right now? Has there been any stuff coming up about, some hard stuff and having to see things in your relationship, or having a shift in your relationship, or some big transformation, or some, something that was hidden that's now revealed? This is Pluto conjuncting Venus, or just more intensity with relationship. It could also indicate obsession and jealousy and stirrings like that with Pluto, but also, these two coming together, especially with a retrograde of Venus, reviewing what needs to be transformed. Again, I talked about this a few weeks ago in another video, reviewing where there's an imbalance of power, or power struggles. And these two are working together to transform your relationships, to look in the nooks and crannies of the shadow of what you believe, what you learned about relationship, and what's not working. And this is some deeper work going on. So we also, Chiron has been retrograde, and that's going direct. And so we've also been reviewing our places of trauma, so trauma in relationships, or trauma in our lives, and really into our, noticing what isn't working here, where we've been wounded in relationships or in life. It's been a really potent time of healing, and I hope you leaned in for support if you needed it, and please do if you still need support. Okay, so yes, this conjunction of Pluto is going to go until the 28th of December. Venus conjunct Pluto. Oh, need some levity, need some joy, need some lightness. And what else? So Venus retrograde happening. For me, when I was thinking about what does Venus retrograde feel like, especially in reviewing the last year here, it's like Venus is love and beautifying, and creativity and passion. And it feels like, and this is the image I had when I thought about what does Venus retrograde mean at this time right now. But Venus only retrogrades every 18 months. It's not like a regular thing, and it's important, right? So reviewing relationships, of course, relationship with self mostly, but also it's like mom or feminine energy, going back through the year and trying to kind of do some housekeeping or house cleaning or remodeling, or taking all the brokenness and making something beautiful out of it, like creating a new, I always think about mosaics when I think about grief, and we've had a lot of grief this year. All the broken pieces of our disappointments, our expectations that fell to the ground, our vision that just seemed to crumble. We're going to pick up the pieces and make something new and beautiful out of it. But first we have to review what didn't work. And so this review is going on, starting on the 19th until the 29th. Is that right? Yeah. So I can feel that one too. And here's the thing about all this energy. If you've already been doing work like this, like I'm constantly reviewing my relationship, I'm constantly looking at myself, I'm constantly wanting to be a better me, I'm constantly visioning, I'm constantly looking at the obstacles in my way. So for me, it's like, I'm in the ocean, and the wave looks really big because, oh my goodness, it's Venus retrograde. And I got my surfboard ready because I've been doing my inner work, my soul work, and I hopefully have done some intention setting, and I've got myself grounded in possibilities. And so when the wave comes, I'm ready, or the wave isn't as big as I thought it would be. But for some people, when you're not looking and you're not connected to your inner world, when the external world is unfolding, it may feel like a tsunami. It may feel like just what just happened? A lot of intense energy, right? So, and I have those too. I'm not saying I'm immune to that. Certainly, I feel the intensity as well. Okay, what else is going on, my friends? Oh, yes, I wanted to include this just in case I don't get to another video before this. We have the winter solstice on the 21st. Marks the shortest day of the year, longest night, the darkest day, or darkest night, I guess. I don't know how that goes. Shortest day of the year. And then we begin to move back into the light, a reclaiming and returning to the light. It is the first day of winter. And this is sacred time. This is, time to really do that deeper reflection. Even though I'm inviting you to do this for the full moon, let's just keep it going for this month. There's plenty to review. There's plenty to be with. This is the reviewing and planting the seeds deep in the dark soil so that we're growing something through this dark time. We're growing something beautiful as we begin to move towards the light. So it's a time for resting and reflection and reviewing, especially with that Venus retrograde, right? So you may notice your energy is a little bit more quiet, and it's a more of an inner focus, just going within, allowing yourself to do that. And some of you are probably saying, I've already done so much of that. Well, do some more in a deeper way, drop deeper. And again, I mentioned the final Saturn square Uranus happening. Actually, by the way, it started in, I'm not sure if it's May or June 2020, but it's now ending on December 24th, 2021. I'm sorry, the Saturn Uranus square started on February 17th. I'm thinking about something else. What started? Oh, I know. So yeah, sorry about that. Saturn square Uranus began on February 17th of 2021. Is that right? Okay, I'll have to double check it, or you can double check it. I was thinking about the nodes. The lunar nodes, the north and the south node, there's a shift happening there too. So the lunar nodes began in Gemini, and north node in Gemini, south node in Sagittarius. And where's the dates of that? I believe that was May 2020, which I really want to look back at that because that's really fascinating to me. These move every 18 months, a year and a half or so. And in 2022, they're going to be moving into north node in Taurus and south node in Scorpio. I could go way more into that, but it's very significant that for this time when the north node was in Gemini, there's been a lot of mental busyness. There's been a lot of reviewing and thinking and trying to understand and researching, and and then that polarity of Sagittarius trying to get to the truth. And this is the thing, like I said earlier, I just would submit to you, there's truth on both sides. And if we keep a narrow perspective, we're going to miss the higher vision. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I do feel like when these nodes change in 2022, it's going to be more like integration time. North node in Taurus is like, what have I learned that I can integrate, drop some roots with, build something new from. The polarity of South Node and Scorpio is still wanting to work to transform it and to transmute all that we've gone through and keep moving towards the ultimate goal of evolving. So, wow, okay, there's a lot, right? Okay, so I hope you paced yourself or you watch this when you have time just to kick back and say, Victoria, what the heck's been going on? This is my best take on it. Again, you're the expert of you. Your soul wisdom is more valuable than what I have to say. So use that tool that I gave you. Close your eyes, put your hand over your heart, and ask, what does my soul want me to know about this full moon, or about this end of the year review, or about anything? Listen, feel into it. I know some of you don't image. Trust what shows up. And if you don't get imagery, you just get a feeling. I would invite you then to stay open for those messages in your awake dreaming. Like maybe you see something that's unusual, like an eagle swoops down in front of you. How's that an answer to my question? What does my soul want me to know? Don't run to a symbol dictionary to figure, what does this mean? Or spirit animals. Sit with what it means to you. And if you don't have something like that happening in your awake dream, incubate a dream that same way before you go to sleep. Ask, say, soul, God, spirit, however you connect, dream maker, please give me a dream that shows me what I need to know about where I am on my transformational journey. please offer a dream that shows me what I need to know about this year that we've all grown through. And then pay attention to your dreams. I know that I've had vivid dreams the last 2 nights. And don't be alarmed by what comes, because remember, dream work or any kind of work like that, or hypnotherapy, when we are communicating, the conscious mind is listening for what the unconscious mind has to tell us. Dreams are symbolic, they're not literal. Sometimes they're prophetic, mostly they're symbolic, and it takes time to sit with them and learn from them. Okay, so I'd invite you to do that. All right, that's it. I'll do a separate video with a meditation and some reflection questions to help you. Once again, I did this last time too. There's a lot to review, so I don't think it's redundant at all. I think it's necessary. So you take good care of you, really tune in, stay connected to your soul, stay connected to the higher vision, stay connected to your faith and trust. And I would really invite you, when you feel limited in your thought, or really, we all have this thing called, oh my gosh, I'm going to blank on this now. I was just talking to my husband about it earlier today. Confirmation bias. We look for what we already believe. We're going to see it over and over again. It's part of the function that we do to keep safe, actually. So we have to say, okay, I've seen my evidence. Now let me open to see another picture, the bigger picture. Sagittarius sun wants us to see the bigger picture, to shift our philosophy, perhaps. Mars in Sagittarius is pushing us towards that. One last thing about Sagittarius, it's also a jovial time too. I mean, with all this, we need some, lightness. And Sagittarius is about adventure and travel. So is Gemini, but it's local, smaller trips. Sagittarius is the bigger adventure. But we can have those big adventures in our mind and venture into new territory of your thinking. I've always believed this, but let me expand to think about something else. And you might feel a little bit more social this full moon, wanting to be around people and chat and giggle and have a good time, and just take care of yourself and be safe as you do. All right, we'll see you soon as I create the meditation video with some reflections to help you process this exhausting year. I think I'm gonna go take a nap. All right, love you all. Take good care. Comment, like, I love your comments. Even if you send them privately, but I do understand if you comment directly on YouTube, it does something with an algorithm that gets more people following my videos. Subscribe if you haven't, and share if you feel called. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Now, go take good care of yourself and nurture that beautiful soul.